it was almost like every little girl's dream, right? To watch the Miss America pageant and think, wow, maybe one day that would be me.
And so what was more challenging, being Miss Oklahoma USA or being a Thunder Girl?
This summer, getting asked to shoot with BC Clark, it was phenomenal. We spent the whole day together, had so much fun.
All right, today we have Ashley Ehrhart. Did I say that right?
No, Ehrhart.
That's
Ehrhart.
Okay. I never get it right. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
And Ashley has great connections to Hennessy and Kingfisher County. And I understand that your mom wouldn't let you do any pageants until you were 13.
That is correct.
Is that right?
That is correct.
You are the former Miss Oklahoma USA and now retired Thunder Girl.
Yes.
How did this start? What made you want to do this?
Right.
It's madness.
So I grew up in pageantry. I grew up watching pageants.
After 13.
After 13.
Okay.
But it was always something that I was so fascinated in. It was almost like every little girl's dream, right? To watch the Miss America pageant and think, wow, maybe one day that would be me. My mom started setting me down as an infant in my little bouncer, baby carryall, sat me down in front of the TV to watch the Miss America pageant. So that's what I mean when I grew up in it. But she would not let me compete until I turned 13 because she really wanted to make sure I understood what I was doing. There is a lot of glitz and glamour around pageantry, but she wanted it to be more than that for me. She wanted it to really be something that had a purpose behind it.
And your mom had a history with pageants.
Yes.
Yeah, she had represented and all these kind of things, and in pageants herself. She's sitting over there.
Yeah. Hey, Mom.
So was that helpful? I mean, with her experience?
Right, very much so. My mom is from Hennessy. A lot of my family is still here in Hennessy. She competed in the Miss Hennessy pageants and was involved with Miss Enid for years. So it definitely helped. She had a lot of experience and expertise herself, but she was also very much one to make sure I was putting in the work myself. There were no handouts. To purchase my first evening gown, I had to get a job and pay for it myself. So while her expertise and her experience definitely helped, it still very much was something that I had to pursue and work for. Yeah, absolutely.
Wow. So one of you grew up Oklahoma City-ish area, and you were big into track.
Yes.
So you were an athlete.
Yes.
Okay.
I went to school in Edmond, graduated from Edmond Santa Fe High School, and started running track in 7th grade, but then spent all 4 years of high school running track. And I then couldn't decide, I was also dancing at the time, couldn't decide if I wanted to run track or dance in college, and finally settled on running. So I did that for a year in college as well. But it was something that just kind of came naturally to me. I remember playing dodgeball in PE or kickball, something that you had to run, and I was always faster than the other kids in PE. So I knew that I had a skill, but it was really such a blessing to get to put that to further my education.
And you ended up with a degree in psychology?
Yes.
Is that right?
I
Where did you get your degree?
I went to school in Arkansas State in Arkansas. Spent my first year running track at Butler Community College in Kansas and then transferred to Arkansas State. I spent 3 years there and actually didn't decide on my major until I got there. I was going through a mental health issue myself, and I realized there were so many other people that also felt like me, but nobody was talking about it. It was way more common than I thought or realized, and so I thought, this is how I can make a change. This is how I can make an impact. So I decided to get my degree in psychology with an area of concentration in exercise science.
And that's been your platform during your Miss Oklahoma USA and some of the other things.
Yeah.
That's amazing, using personal experience to help others.
Yes, absolutely. It's something that it took a lot of courage. There's still a lot of stigma, but especially then, this was going on 9 years ago. There was so much stigma around just mental health, depression, anxiety, just even your basic mental health issues. There was still a lot of stigma, and people were scared to talk about it or ashamed or embarrassed. So it did take a lot of courage to get to that point. But once I got there, it was like it was unbelievable just the doors that it opened for myself, but also for other people to be able to then therefore share their stories as well.
Wow. A lot of times it takes somebody like you to give others the courage to open up and discuss it with whoever can help them with that. Wow.
Absolutely.
So you were National Sweetheart. What's that all about? Is that one of those little 13-year-old, little tutu things?
Nope. This is for grown women. It's a scholarship pageant. It's an extension. Well, it was started. The National Sweetheart pageant happens every year in Hoopeston, Illinois. Okay. They have a national corn festival. So all of these people come in from all around the world to eat the sweet corn in Hoopeston, Illinois. Okay. Well, with that, they host a pageant. The town is very similar to Hennessy, is how I would describe it. Sure. Very small town, tight-knit community. But they hold this national pageant and they treat it like a national pageant. You arrive in town and everybody knows your name. They're excited to see you. They already know what state you're from. You stay with the host family while you're there. So you're staying with other girls from other states with, a family that you've never met. You just kind of get immersed in this just overall positive experience. We're all working to hopefully win the title and get the scholarship money, right. But they create it to be such a meaningful and enjoyable time. I still talk to, I think, 6 of the girls that I competed with almost every single day. Oh, no, so it was really great. And then to walk away with the title, that was just,
At least they didn't call you National Corn Queen or something.
I know, right? That could have been quite different. Yeah, no, the national, or their mascot for the town is a corn cob, and his name is Jerky. So, yeah.
I love it. So, somebody asked this question before we started. So, what was more challenging, being Miss Oklahoma USA or being a Thunder Girl? What's the difference between the two?
I think there were equal challenges with them both. They were both very similar. My experience as a Thunder Girl was incredible. It's some of the best years of my entire life, but also competing in pageants, was just as incredible. Mm-hmm. I would say physically challenging was Thunder Girls. We practiced 4 days a week. We started at 7 and usually got done around 10-ish. Sometimes a little later, depending on what was going on that week. We had 41 home games in a regular season, and then we all know how it turned out last year, which I think gave us an extra quarter of a season, so 20 games. So we are at every single one of those.
And you only did home games?
Only home games, thank goodness, because there's 82 regular season NBA games. So there's not enough time, simply not enough time. But we also did community appearances. So we were constantly out in the community, not just in the Oklahoma City metro area, but Tulsa, Lawton.
So it's not just court
stuff,
you're out.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, way beyond that. So it's a full-time job, essentially, but it's not the way it's treated. It's a part-time job, but with full-time responsibilities. So it's definitely challenging. It requires a lot, but pageants in their own way, you're competing for yourself. At the end of the day, you're on stage by yourself. Yep. With the Thunder Girls, it was really nice. Every time I took the court, I knew I had 15 other girls who were going out there with me. Yep. Yeah, it makes it a little easier.
Very cool. We were talking earlier about the Dallas Cowgirls and the documentaries, and I asked how real is that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Barring the backstage drama, is it similar? Is it?
Very much so. Yeah. At the end of the day, we are the frontline ambassadors for the organization. Mm-hmm. For a lot of folks, we are the closest they will ever come to an NBA experience at all. A lot of fans that we meet have never been to a Thunder game. We're meeting them at school appearances, or we partnered with OG&E. We're at something for OG&E and we're meeting folks. These are people that maybe will never get to step foot inside of the Paycom arena. So we're bringing the NBA experience to them. Mm-hmm. So it's beyond just going out on the court and dancing for a minute. The time and the energy we put to be the best representatives and the best ambassadors of the organization that we can be, that's really where the meat of our work is being good representatives and good stewards of the Oklahoma City Thunder brand.
It's not just being a cheerleader
anymore. No, not anymore.
Much more. Yeah.
Very much so. It's really special to get to watch shows like that. with the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders. Because you kind of see, like, there's other organizations, there's other people across the world, whether it's NBA, NFL, NHL, whatever it may be, all working for the same goal and, and the same dream and the same purpose.
Wow. So we learned something interesting about this building we're in right now. This building used to be the Honey & Co. boutique, and during your pageant, you actually got some of your attire from here.
I did.
Remember what room it was in?
It was right here, really. I spent a lot of time in the bathroom trying stuff on. Yeah. It was all set up kind of right in here. The cash register was right there. But yeah, that was very, very special. One of the things that can really make a difference in a young person's life in pageantry are sponsorships. Pageantry just by nature is extremely expensive, or can be. So to have people that are willing to donate their time, their resources, their items, give you a discount even, whatever it is, that can go such a long way. So I was privileged enough to get to take clothing that was given to me right here in Hennessy, all the way to Reno, Nevada, wearing it at Miss USA at a national competition. So it was a huge blessing to have the support that I had from Hennessy as I was competing for Miss USA.
And then also the Hennessy Mercantile also helped you with some of these things. So it's neat that your sort of hometown helped you with all of this.
Very much so. Yeah, I never lived in Hennessy. I'm not from here per se, but spent a lot of time here growing up. And then even now into my adult life, I just turned 29 yesterday.
Oh my God. I wouldn't have guessed.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'm convinced I'm not ever going to age. But, I spent a lot of time, even in the past 29 years as a total, here in Hennessy. So I still consider it home. I still, getting to come back and again, not only to see my family, but get to see folks in the community that have been following my story. And actually it happened right here. I was checking out at Honey & Co. and there was a young mom with her child who recognized me from Facebook or something and asked to take a picture. So just little moments like that of knowing I have the support of Hennessy, it makes it feel like home.
That is very, very cool. Now, something that just happened, you're the BC Clark cover girl.
Yes.
That's kind of a thing.
Yeah. I grew up always being interested in fashion, interested in jewelry, interested in modeling, that whole world. But it wasn't until I got older, about 15, 16, that I signed with a modeling agency and started modeling. So I spent several years doing that and then stopped as I got older into high school and into college to figure out what I was doing there. Then after I moved back home from Arkansas, back to Oklahoma, I re-signed with the agency and began modeling again, which has been great. Ended up this summer getting asked to shoot with BC Clark. It was phenomenal. We spent the whole day together, had so much fun. I knew we had some really great images. I remember the photographer taking the photos and he would stop for a second and look at the camera and just shake his head. And I was like, okay, we're doing it. But never did I think one of those photos from that moment would be the cover. Yeah. So they told me, the magazine launched last week. They told me the day before that I had made the cover. So it was very, very special.
Cool. Did you meet the brothers?
I did not, no. Oh. Somebody else asked me that. Yeah. I was working very much with their marketing and their social media team and everybody like that. But great organization to work with and work for in that moment. Hopefully get to work with them again. So BC Clark, if you're watching, you know where to find me.
she didn't have to sing the song.
No, I'm ready.
Do you know the song?
Absolutely.
Oh, let's go. Ready?
I'm gonna get embarrassed because I'm not very singing. Very good at singing. How does it start? Is that how it starts? Jewelry is the gift to give, because it's the gift that lives and lives. So give the gift can't fail from BC Clark's anniversary sale. Most sales are after Christmas, but Clark's is just before. Most everything is marked way down. Savings you can't ignore at Oklahoma's oldest jeweler since 1892.
1892.
So give the gift can't fail from BC Clark's anniversary sale. Thank you.
Yep.
Yes, I can sing it.
Line and then lost the rest of it.
Yeah. I had to trigger my memory there.
That is so cool. So what's next? So now you're a working girl.
Yes.
What is it you're doing now?
Yes. So I have spent the last 2 years working full time in nonprofit.
Okay.
I never considered working in a nonprofit. It wasn't something that I thought about as I was looking for my career. It just kind of happened. And so I work full-time at City Rescue Mission. We're the largest family shelter
in Oklahoma City.
Okay. We're the largest family shelter in the state of Oklahoma.
Oh.
So we're serving men, women, and children experiencing homelessness. I work in development, so I do a lot of, my technical title is donor relations. So I'm doing a lot of donor contact, make sure that the donor knows what's going on and that they continue giving their money. And I've loved it. And I'm actually now, in just about 2 weeks, a week and a half now, going to be moving over to Goodwill.
Oh, brand new job.
Brand new job,
Wow.
Still in the world of nonprofit. Sometimes I forget that Goodwill is a nonprofit. Their mission is setting folks up for success towards employment. So I'm really excited. I'll be doing the same thing, development over there. So working kind of with donors, fundraising, that whole aspect, the kind of the back end of a nonprofit's work. But I'm really, really excited about it. Nonprofit has been, you know, a change in my life that I didn't see coming, but a really, really good one.
So why, was that a direction you wanted to go? I mean, because you could be a television anchor person. Yeah. You could do any of these things.
Yeah.
Why did you, was that a choice, or was that where somebody said, hey, we'd like you over here?
Kind of both.
Okay.
So I think the power of communication and connection and community and shaking hands with as many people as you can, whether it's networking, whether it's the CEO or the janitor of the building. Making intentional connections can take you so far. And that's kind of what happened here. Obviously, the world of nonprofit in Oklahoma is actually quite large, but it's still a small world. So some folks, I had met a couple of different people, and someone knew me who knew someone and put in a good word. And LinkedIn is a great tool. A great tool I'm learning. It's like the professional Facebook.
There you go.
Somebody reached out on LinkedIn from Goodwill and met or talked with her once, had an interview once, and was hired right after that. So,
wow.
and that's truly, I believe, from intentional networking and intentional communication and connection building.
You can't, and in fact, I'm making a speaking circuit myself now, talking about entrepreneurship and networking.
Yeah.
And a lot of the kids have no concept of that
Right.
yet.
Right.
You know, it's not so much business cards anymore, but it used to be the guy with the biggest Rolodex.
Yeah.
Do you even know what a Rolodex is?
Nope.
Okay. It's a place where you put business cards.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. My dad still has one. Actually.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure that would, yeah. It's always been the saying, the guy with the biggest Rolodex wins, because you have that networking that you can call, and critically important.
Very much so. Very much so.
Yes.
And like I said, you know, it's a lot of times you might think like, okay, you got to fight to get to the front of the line to meet the highest person. Like, but sometimes, you know, all it takes, again, shaking the hand of the janitor who's going to go in the CEO's office to take out the trash and might mention, hey, I just met this person out here, you know, so you truly never know. It can take you so far, farther than you might even realize.
The part of my talk is that, I think you can validate this, that if, say you and I had a conversation and you came to me and I didn't know you from Adam, and then you came to me or called or texted or something, 5 years later, you could say, hey, this is Ashley, I met you at this meeting, and you said that if I ever needed anything to give you a call, I'm calling. That's your in.
Absolutely.
That gets you past, we call them the junkyard dog.
Yeah, right.
What do you want?
Yeah.
And
I call him a gatekeeper.
yes. So if you can get around the gatekeeper, almost always that person will remember you, maybe vaguely, but you know, and I'll get those calls quite often. And whether I remember that person or not, I appreciate them taking that initiative, and I will help them any way I can.
Right, 100%.
So that's very, very important.
Yes, yeah. You know, people are just people. It can be intimidating, especially if you're looking to start a new career, start a business, just get in somewhere. It can be really intimidating thinking that I have to, you know, meet this person or do this or whatever, but people are just people. You know, a lot of times all it takes is, again, hi, how are you? This is my name. Having that 30-second to a minute, you know, conversation and connection, that can last you, like you said, 5 years later, and you still have that connection.
Yes. Having when I hire someone, I want to have a real conversation. I don't want to hear the resume.
Yeah.
I want to talk to you and know what
the person beyond the paper.
Yep. Very cool.
That was good.
This has been exciting.
Very much so.
I'm excited with your Hennessy connection, and your mom's over here.
Yes.
And I remember when she was in Pageants, and now seeing, the product of that is pretty cool.
Yeah,
Really cool.
Yeah, it is. It is very much so. It's one of those things where, people will ask me all the time, like, "Oh, you're famous," or "How does it feel to be famous?" And I always laugh. That's not me. I've never been one that's like, I don't know. I guess it's cool. I guess it's cool. I would be lying if I didn't say it was cool to be recognized and noticed at a game in Oklahoma City, here in Hennessy, wherever I am. But that stuff is so, that's not what I think about. At the end of the day, I want to put on my shorts, my tennis shoes, my t-shirt, and come lay on my Aunt Jeannie's couch, and then, go over to my Aunt Rose's house. Be a person, So that's really what it is for me. And I think that's when you have the most influence, is when you meet people where they are.
So before we wrap this up, what is your ultimate? Like, if you could have any job you want, where is that 5-year plan at for you?
So to first not directly answer your question, I always ask people somewhat of a similar question. My question always is, if you could be anything in the world, you didn't need the education, you didn't need the training, you could just be it, what would you be? So that's the first answer that comes to mind when you ask me that question. And that answer for me is an actress. I would love to just make it in Hollywood. I'm talking like high level, like award winning, like Audrey Hepburn.
The Academy Award winner.
Yes, that would be me. So if I could just snap my fingers and do anything in the next 5 years, it would be that. That's maybe not quite as realistic as something, that's more tangible, more within reach. I'm entering into a new career, sort of, still in the nonprofit space. I hope to make a big impact there. I think one of the highlight of my career, and I am so blessed to say this is at 29, and hopefully still have a long career ahead of me, happened at City Rescue Mission. I can't say too much because it's still kind of a secret, but I was able to connect Isaiah Hartenstein, playing for the Oklahoma City Thunder, with the organization. He came in, toured, asked a couple questions of what we thought Oklahomans experiencing homelessness needed. And he is meeting that need in a really, really, really big way. If my career ended tomorrow, know that I made that difference, it couldn't get better than that. So in the next 5 years, I hope to continue making impacts like that. Continue doing what I can, whether it's my voice, my time, my job, my money, whatever it is, giving to people in the way that so many people in my life gave to me. To be able to impact the trajectory of someone's life. Hopefully at Goodwill, it's helping folks find employment. While I'm on development, I'm more the fundraising side, bringing in the funds to pay the people that are gonna help people find employment, continuing to make that difference. So in the next 5 years, I hope to be making even bigger and better differences.
I love it.
Thank you.
Ashley, thank you so much for hanging out.
Yes.
And coming back to Hennessy.
100%. I'll be back anytime you need me.
Awesome.
Anytime. This was great.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you.
Stay tuned.